Welcome to workshop number 3. And this one is titled Learning from Experiences, and I'm Stein. And one thing that I wanted to mention is that with all of the information that we've already provided in workshops 1 and 2, one of the main points to all of this is that every experience in life is to help us grow. Our whole reason for incarnating on the physical plane is to grow more rapidly than we can in the astral plane. Now think about what it's like in the astral plane. Maybe we don't remember specifically, right? Okay, but the concept is that we have no physical pain because we don't have a physical body, not one like we have here, and we have access to higher levels of knowledge that we can't even comprehend probably on the physical plane. So we're living pretty much in like a fantasy library. We have experiences up there, they're more energy and conscious related. But the fastest growth occurs from physical pain. Okay? So we choose by free will to incarnate, to acquire karma, to clear karma, to potentially get killed, because we can grow more rapidly on the physical plane. Okay? Life and death is not important before you incarnate. It seems to be important that we forget about life and death not being important. When we're down here, all of a sudden it's all important. Can't die. Everything we have to do while we're here, there's no such thing as reincarnation, so ultimately we run around with our heads chopped off doing this kind of stuff because we think it's the only lifetime that we have, and when we get done here it's all over. Well, so the meaning of life, when I figured it out, I said, wow, how obvious is that? So the meaning of life is nothing more than to grow as rapidly as you can while you're on the physical plane. Which may be why some people choose to become Buddhist monks. That's all they're doing, is trying to grow. Now what I've learned also is, fortunately, is that working on positive polarity while you're in society and living in the real world helps you grow more rapidly than if I was on the top of a mountain in a temple. So ultimately, all of life is a blessing. Every minute, every second is absolutely the most important second at that moment in time. Because there's some kind of information you're given to help you make the choice and to help you maintain whatever side of this polarity chart you want to be on. Every minute of every day. Okay, and it's all a matter of whether we can see it, awareness, and then understand how it helps us and how we can grow from it. That's the only questions that we have, and that's why we're here today. Because right now we're going to be talking about learning from your experiences. Okay, we've gone through the foundation, we've gone through breaking control dramas so you can move more positive, and now we're going to be talking about what helps break these patterns and what helps reinforce these patterns in every experience. Okay, so blocks to growth. So blocks are, what we have to clear. So clearing blockages is growth, healing, which equals balance equals harmonization. So, if you clear the blockages, you grow, you heal, and then you become more balanced, and then we reach N squared better, hopefully. Blocks to clear are obvious. We've got them listed here: fear, anger, lying, stress, anxiety, frustration, arrogance, greed, judgment, and you do all that through understanding. Okay. Blame. Blaming others for being deceived, hurt, betrayed, cheated, ripped off, or scammed. Okay? If you take responsibility for your growth, for deciding to come down on the physical plane, for your choice, and the fact that you're manifesting everything that you experience, then the deceived are equally responsible for their own deception as the deceiver. It's a 50-50 rule. If you're manifesting and you're experiencing something with somebody else, they're also manifesting. You can't blame somebody else for what you helped manifest. Okay, now this is an issue that people have. They always have to say, it's not my fault, it was somebody else's, I'm an innocent victim. No such thing. There's victims, but only victims because they don't have an awareness, an understanding of why they got put in that situation. Why they manifested it, how they manifested it. Victim will generally use the poor me to gain sympathy and energy as a result of their own lack of understanding. Okay, other blockages. Honesty, we talked about that. We talked about wisdom. Honesty without wisdom is negative. And what does that mean? If you go up to somebody and you just stand in their face and say, oh, you're this and this and this, and it may be true that they're that and that and that, and you may be being honest, but you just hurt that person. That's not using wisdom. Okay? Unfortunately, and you hurt somebody else, what are you doing? Operating in control. You don't cause pain on this path. You cause enlightenment. Pain is caused on this path. So, blatant honesty, and let me tell you, there are philosophies out there, and I'm sure some of you have heard them, where they teach people to tell the people they're angry with exactly the way they feel. Okay, and that's supposed to help them heal. Okay, all right. What they're doing is they're just learning how to use control in another way, which will come back on them. I mean, you put control out, you're going to manifest control. So you're gonna treat somebody like that, you're going to get, somehow it's going to recurse on you, and you're going to have to deal with it. And you're also going to have to learn how to break your habits if you plan on moving this direction. Now, ironically, those same workshops and courses are taught that this is a positive thing to do, because it clears it off of your shoulders. Gets it out. And so you're supposed to feel lighter and have this off your consciousness to do this. Okay, well, yeah, I think you can probably tell that I'm not a proponent of that technology or that method, and you can see why. Okay, so honesty with wisdom is positive. Okay, and that means, I'll give you an example of, say, a psychic somebody goes to a psychic and says, tell me when I'm going to die. Okay, and the psychic knows the answer. It's the psychic's responsibility to determine if that person can handle the answer. Okay? It's not the person. The person asking doesn't know what they're asking for. But a person of greater wisdom has to determine if the person can handle the answer. As any teacher or anybody with information, that's their responsibility. You know, knowledge is power. And you have to be careful in some circumstances when you divulge information to people. Okay, so that's all about honesty with wisdom or not wisdom. Okay, expectation and anticipation. Again, expectation. If you're expecting something to happen, you're not really releasing, because you're trying to predetermine the end result. When you try to predetermine, even if you're not doing anything physically, your thoughts are of controlling it. Releasing it means you don't have any expectation. You might have an idea. That's okay. Having an idea is okay. But having an expectation builds up an energy and a consciousness, which then also, ironically, blocks the thing from manifesting. Anticipation is the same thing. You anticipate something's going to happen. How many times have we done that and it didn't happen? Okay, not only is it wasted energy, you're actually blocking the ability for it to manifest by trying to anticipate it. Again, anticipation means that you have some need for it to happen. Release means you have no need for it. It doesn't matter. Either way is okay. So these are things that where people, and again, I'm telling you these things so that you can be aware that if you get into a position of anticipation and expectation, that you can adjust your consciousness and think otherwise. You know, I'll give you a release exercise. I mean, and you use it when you have these issues come up. And it'll help pull you this direction and also release the block. Usually expectation and anticipation are based on fear and assumption, and they are reactive. Okay, you expect something or anticipate something because you're afraid of what will happen if it doesn't occur. Okay, and so most things go back to fear. All right, replace with knowing, belief, and trust. Well, I mean, the positive path is a path of knowing, belief, and trust. If you believe that release is going to manifest eventually in the way you like, as soon as you move far enough into it, then you will find that you have a knowing that the system works and that you can do it without having the fear and without having the expectation.